Surprise! Welcome to Exertus Cast. Tonight, we're coming to you live from the studio of Adam Krigler with our special guest, Adam Krigler. Maybe I introduce him to you now. This is actually a new system for me. This is Adam Krigler, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm gonna keep this on.
You look a little nervous. Are you doing all right?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's fair. Well, I think this guy's he's kind of like one of the most you're one of the most alien people I've ever met, actually.
That is what I said to you first, isn't it?
I think that's verbatim.
Oh shit, sorry.
Well,
I'm just so nervous. It's really hot. I'm taking your jacket off.
That's fair. I think the jacket makes the outfit, but it also makes the temperature go up.
Dude, it is warm in here.
Yeah.
Anyway, it must be the hot fire because of our awesome dynamic.
It could be. It could also be Krigler coffee. I wanted to mention to everyone.
Whoa. Give me a shout out.
Have you guys seen this stuff? Have you guys drank this stuff? Have you guys learned about this stuff yet? Basically, there's this thing
I'm drinking
called,
it right now.
It's called a coffee bean, and they make like this drink from the coffee bean.
Yep.
And they call it Krigler coffee. It's like a whole new kind of awesome, you know?
It's based on my last name.
It's
Because it's Krigler and then coffee and, Krigler coffee.
Oh, I like what you did there.
I just put them together.
That's
and
smart.
then that's the name of the business.
It is based on his. It's very based on his name. I think that's true. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, man.
Well, I wanted to kind of like do a show with you, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about a bit about you and about things you're interested in.
Cool.
So I figured we would start with like some articles.
Are we doing articles right now?
Is that too crazy?
No,
you wanna
that's
skip
good.
into that?
No, it's good.
What do you think about? I just wanted to show you. This is like the first thing that comes up in my life right now.
What is that?
NYPD robot dogs return to work. So not everyone gets
It's
these.
the robot dogs.
Yeah, and not everyone likes them. It turns
Really?
out. Yeah, it's like it seems like robot dogs are actually.
What do you think about them?
I mean, they don't eat much, and they're not likely to cause as big of a problem as corrupt officers or
Yeah.
even just normal people. But yeah,
SpaceX is using them
my
to inspect like the launch pads and After Effects just
I'm
to
all
go in
about
and look
that.
at things. It's pretty cool.
I think in like anarcho space capitalism, we're going to need robots and self-policing as
Yeah.
much as possible. But in terms of our streets, like there's not a lot of discretion with the robot dog,
Yeah, the robots. Oh, you're giving me the zoom shot. Don't give me the zoom shot. Give me the one below it. That one. Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy here.
Yeah,
Oh,
stay on
okay.
that one.
Now,
That one's better.
These are pretty cool buttons he's got here. I can't help myself.
You gotta learn the buttons.
I feel like I'm playing with the Death Star right now.
Boop, 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 boop.
It's pretty.
It's
sweet.
even better if you make sounds when you hit the button.
Boop,
Hold on, wait. Give me the camera real quick. Hey, I just want to say thanks everyone for showing up, and I miss you guys. And I'll be back Thursday. I'm just had to get that out there because I miss going live. It's weird how when I don't have it anymore. Suddenly I'm like, oh man, like it's just not the same. And people are like, well, why don't you do Rumble? Why don't you? Well, because I have all of my subscribers on this channel right now, and that's the way it works. So I don't know.
It's a tragic opera.
Yeah.
That is the life of Adam Krigler.
But anyway, let's continue about the police dogs.
Well, I mean,
what's going on with this article? What's it about?
well, yeah, I guess I could bother to read some of it. So basically, deployed as at a public housing building, the device drew condemnation as it sparks examples of police power and misplaced priorities. Because there's no discretion being placed by this artificial intelligent machine. It's just following the law. And I don't know if you know this, but there are some pretty dumb laws.
Like what?
Oh, like, in Connecticut, there's a law that you can't look at ducks in June. And it's been a law since the 1700s.
I'm sorry, wait. You can't look at ducks?
Correct.
Look at ducks.
And in Louisiana, you
like
can't.
the bird.
Right, yeah.
Like you can't physically look at it.
It's illegal. I mean, no one really enforces it.
What's the fine?
It's been
Felony?
It's been centuries.
Prison time?
think about what's the other one is in Louisiana, right? They have a law that you can't tie your alligator to a lamppost. Now that's an okay law.
But can you tie him to a tree?
We'd have to
Keep in
ask.
mind, I don't want to tie any alligator to any tree.
Right. It's
I'm just
hypothetical.
simply asking a question.
You're gonna get my channel striked, I know. Anyway,
How dare he ask if alligators can be tied to trees?
it's just it's an objective question. Is it legal? But the point is the same. A
Right.
robot might let you
Tie it to a tree?
A human might let you do it. A robot wouldn't. A robot would see the rules and say this is too close to rule
A
breaking.
robot would be like, that lamppost, I'm not allowed to be tied to that. Whoa.
Whoa.
The UFO was like, don't you tie me down.
My word.
Don't you tie me down.
That feels like that was a meme. Maybe it's time to spin the UFO.
I got this.
Is it time to spin the UFO?
I got this.
Wow.
It requires a dainty touch. That's right. I said it. Dainty.
Dainty. And speaking of dainty, I'd like to bring up also some dandy questions.
What?
Oh.
You've seen this before.
I know, but it's not like this. Not like this.
Not from that view.
Yeah, this is different.
You know,
This
you're the
feels
only
good.
person to sit there,
It's a weird feeling. I feel
especially live.
I feel so empowered.
It does feel a little I don't know. I'm less empowered. I'm depowered over here.
This is what you get for having a lower chair for your guests. I'm just
What do you
saying.
mean?
I mean, look
It's
at
not
me.
lower.
I mean, come on, you're like a 1,000 feet taller than me.
This
and
chair does
I
suck.
look so elegant in your chair.
I like my guests to be uncomfortable.
It puts them on spot. I now understand.
They're over here squirming like, man, why can't I get comfortable? Actually, it's not that bad. I don't like this like lower back thing. I don't get this chair. I took this from Tim's area. I was
doesn't-
like, hey, I'm gonna steal his chair.
Yo, that makes sense. That's
Just like
why
I-
that chair's
just
that
like I
way.
steal his guests. That only happened twice. Anyway, let's move on. What are these questions you're talking about?
Well, wait, really quickly. Just wanted to make also the point that because they can't have a minimum living wage, that these robots are going to be invading people's houses and telling people to leave. Right now, they've gotten rid of a lot of police. For instance, traffic ticketing is basically dead in so many places because people come out and attack their traffic cars now. So if you have automated machines that can do these jobs, then people are less likely to rebel against.
I
these
mean,
machines,
if you
right?
think about it, what's to stop someone from going out and just spray painting the camera eyes of every single traffic dog, or like psh, now all of a sudden it's like it's out of commission for who knows.
Well, that's
They wear all black block as it were, and just psh, boom.
that's an inspiring thought, but I think also there are.
I'm not
drones.
saying to go out and do this.
Gosh,
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's always going to be evil people in the world that do that kind of stuff, and it's just like, it's a thing.
Sure, Adam. Sure.
What
Anyway,
do you mean? You
nothing.
know it's true.
Okay, so another thing,
All right,
real quick before
I
you,
don't do this. I don't say anyone should do that.
He would never do.
Disclaimer.
Anything like.
I'm way too lazy.
He's a good old boy. So one of my favorite sources. Another reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to show you guys my sources. A lot of time are like, I like IEE Spectrum. This is one of my favorite places for engineers to get information.
Cool.
One of the articles I found really interesting recently was the Ultimate Incubator: The Brave New World of Bionic Babies.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, so artificial placentas. Now this is something
No,
that, as
no.
the son of an OBGYN, I've
I don't
wondered
like it.
about for a while. It's like, are we going to be able to get this going, and what's it going to take? But the thing is, it matters for premature infants. There's a lot of people that do need this because the babies, they can't survive. And there's all sorts of environmental teratogenic qualities that are causing fetuses to not make it from embryo to gestation or baby.
I actually just recently read an article about how surrogate mothers, like women that are basically hired to have someone else's baby, there's a really high death rate.
Yeah, it's
in
dangerous.
these women that
Right.
that are surrogates, not their DNA. Sometimes the body just rejects it outright, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sure they don't want people talking about it, but this is
Well-
an article I read. All right, this is
Yeah.
actual
Don't
statistics.
worry, it's my channel. You can go for broke. We're
I
gonna
know.
end up on Odyssey in
I'm
a second anyway.
yeah, it's weird, right?
It's
I'm
fine.
like, I
Don't
just
even
got
worry
this
about it.
strike, so I'm like,
Now you're welcoming.
what
Now
can I even
you're
say?
welcome to my world.
Do you
sir.
swear?
I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about swear words.
See, this is how woke this video is.
S word,
It's kind of
F
woke.
word.
Yeah.
like,
well, you
you
already
know.
at the very beginning when you threw the mask down, I think you yelled a word.
I think I said the S word.
Yeah, I did. You said shiitake mushrooms. I think
Shiitake
you were eating-
mushrooms.
you were eating
I
some
like
mushrooms
shiitake
earlier 'cause he's a
mushrooms.
vegan.
They're
It's
really,
really
good.
cool,
I
thing.
really do like shiitake mushrooms. Man, they're good.
Well,
What are we talking about?
so incubators and wombs and gestation, and this is important actually. Women who are being hired to do, as you said, like gestation in vitro, this has been
Surrogate mothers.
mothers. But this is something that goes even further and
So this
deeper.
would be an artificial version of a
Absolutely.
surrogate mother?
And going really far out, right?
I don't like it.
Well, think about it for elephants, and you can't put a mammoth inside of an elephant, right? If you wanted to start bringing back mammoths, and how about the rhinoceros?
Who wants to bring back mammoths?
Well, what about the rhinoceros? It was just gone a year or two ago. Don't you want the rhinoceros back? Do you want all these extinct species to be forgotten and mythical?
I mean, are you saying we bring back dinosaurs? Jurassic Park?
At least dragons,
Okay.
Yeah,
Until they eat us all.
fair. But maybe we just make like metal
Don't you think they died for a reason, though?
for our sins. honestly.
Is that where you're going with it?
Well,
The dinosaurs died for you. You should be grateful to them.
the point is, it does affect dinosaurs, and so that means it's important. But also, it affects humans, because let's say you're and he's talking about how expensive it is to get a surrogate mother. So they go to countries where it's cheaper. So you look at South America, you look at the Caribbean, and you have these in vitro clinics down there. And then we've talked a lot about cloning, right? And so the baby Eve, who was cloned by the Raelians.
Is it a real thing? Or what are you talking about? I don't know anything about that.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Well, so
there was an actual baby that was cloned?
In general,
or is this a story that you've heard?
No, I mean, this is what people claim to have done.
Okay, so it's not proven.
I mean, they don't want to prove it, because then people would. There's a lot of complications with the personal rights of a clone. Are they considered a human? And in the last 20 years,
why wouldn't they be?
Because they're clones, so they're based on another person.
But they're still a human being.
A lot of common law had to be established to guarantee that they had the same rights as other humans.
Where? What common law? In what country?
The United Nations has set up human rights declarations
for clone humans.
For clone humans since 1997.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
since 1987.
97.
97.
Yeah, 97 is when they claimed that they had the first. And the idea is to put into a surrogate mother a clone cell, which is simple.
For what? Have you seen The Island?
Yeah, totally.
Is it basically like that? They're raising clones just to like harvest
up until they
organs?
made rights for clones, right? And so clones mean, with rights, that means you can't do that anymore theoretically, or that a clone could own property. And these are the kinds of complications that surrogate mothers and bionic babies are going to have to come up against.
Wait, what's a bionic baby? Because that sounds something different than being born in an artificial womb.
There's a broad gap there. Are you going to make a baby that's has genetically been modified? Because once you have a cybernetic baby, that's beyond just a bionic baby. But a biologically modified, like cybernetics, is the next step essentially. But yeah, putting them into a womb, having genetically modified their DNA.
So what is this here? Like, because are we kind of like spiraled away from the article? Read the article again for me.
All right. The womb is home to the most complex feat. Turn it on so you guys can see it too. The womb is home to the most complex feat of human biology, the transformation from embryo to fetus to baby. But that magnificent conversion would be impossible without the placenta, the life-giving organ that the developed fetus is tied to via the umbilical cord. Even before a woman knows she's pregnant, the placenta swells in size, posed to serve as the fetus's kidney and liver until the fetus has its own. The placenta starts to breathe for the fetus around 12 weeks in. Well, you guys maybe know what happens. Recreating everything that happens inside the womb belongs firmly in the realm of science fiction. There's still too much that scientists don't know about the early stages of development, when fetal cells grow into organs, limbs, and tissues. But George Michalska thinks that the creating of an artificial version of the placenta, or at least replicating it, is one of the most important functions in reach. As a fetal and pediatric surgeon at the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, he often sees premature babies who have left the womb too soon. Although modern medicine can save many of them, the chances of survival are extremely small. So essentially what they're doing, though, is they're making these sugar stack 3D printed wombs. And then from there, they're trying to develop these chemical mitochondrial placentas. His system is one of several designs under the development around the world that aim to breathe for extremely premature babies.
Huh.
Yeah, so this would be the beginning of making it. First, they would just keep babies alive, and it wouldn't be for clones at first, and that's awesome. Like, this would really actually benefit a lot of people. So, I mean, I like it.
Do you?
It's a little woke.
You did say we were going woke.
We're going kind of woke. You
on
never
this
go full
episode.
woke. I would also say, guys, I did forget to mention, if you guys like Krigler coffee and you want to go out in style, feeling all jazzed up, you might want to grab yourself a pair of Tartary socks while you're at it.
Tartary
Yeah.
shots?
We got Tartary socks, we got Tartary fanny packs, Tartary t-shirts.
Is that a Tartary fanny pack?
Oh yeah, the Tartary fanny pack is super fly. Let me
look at that thing.
6 seconds to load, but you can get it in like any color. Imagine you didn't like.
But can you get it in multicolored?
Working on it. I want to get my rainbow hats available for people. That's the next thing, is we'll make sure that all of you get some of these Tartary.
Is that Alex Jones' signature?
Yeah.
Look at you.
You know he's a gorilla? Yeah.
He's not. They proved that wrong.
Jury is still out on that.
No, he was wrong.
I believe
he admitted it. He was wrong.
King Kong versus Godzilla. Who would win? Trick question.
Godzilla.
They're allies. They're allies.
No, Godzilla would win. There's not a question. Godzilla would totally demolish King Kong.
Except for King Kong would help
You
Godzilla.
said who would win in a battle,
right,
King Kong or
had-
Godzilla? You can't suddenly add different things
if
after
it
the
was just,
fact.
If it's just bronze, if it's just strength, you're right. Then technically that's
No, it's even if it was just strength. Godzilla, hands down.
Strength-wise, you're right. Strength-wise, you're right. But if
What else?
I think there's compassion and there's brilliance to the primate mind, and that King Kong would come up with some.
He's got
way to
laser
benefit.
breath. Dead.
Yeah, but what if he convinced him not to use his laser breath because they were working together?
But they were fighting. In the pic, you're asking if in a battle, in a fight, who would win? It would be Godzilla. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Chat, what do you think?
I don't think anyone.
What up,
would know
chat?
that.
How you guys doing? See,
Yeah.
I see Godzilla. Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I hear you.
Who said that?
Long reach.
Long reach won. Thank you.
course.
Thank you. Long
Well-
reach is on my side. I win.
Now we're gonna get into some serious questions.
What
You
is
guys,
it? What are these questions?
Have you guys ever heard of the Proust questionnaire?
I can't hear you.
Have you ever heard of the? Have you ever?
There's-
Ouch.
You're blocking the mic.
Irony is terrifying. The Proust questionnaire.
What is the Proust questionnaire?
Well, Adam, let me tell you. At one
Are
point,
you gonna tell me?
At one point, there was a 19th century tradition that people at parties would get together and they would ask each other questions.
Okay.
And these questions, help people get to know each other better.
Okay.
They're rather famous. Whenever you do an interview with the president, you should probably start with the Proust questionnaire.
Okay.
And so you're kind of like Mr. President.
Thank you. Wow,
I'm
that's
gonna
a compliment.
give you just a few of these because there's so many. But let's.
Okay.
What's your favorite virtue?
My favorite virtue. Define virtue. What's your definition of virtue?
The principal aspect of your personality, perhaps,
So my own personal virtue.
or maybe what you strive for.
I mean, first off the top of my head, it would be honesty. I think without honesty, anything can crumble apart really quickly.
That's beautiful.
So I'll go with honesty.
That's pretty good. What's your favorite qualities in a gentleman?
I gotta say honesty, man. I mean,
Wow.
really, you think about without general truth. Well, honesty and truth go hand in hand, because without honesty, there is no truth. Because truth, admitting the truth is honest, right? So a gentleman, like, well, what's a gentleman? Like a proper fellow,
Yeah,
someone who's
a
like
dandy.
an upstanding citizen.
A boulevardier. Like what's up?
I mean, well, what is that? Yeah, that's like a perspective thing. Like, what is a dandy? What is a gentleman? In different, it's almost like in different cultures, anybody could be a gentleman, but in another culture, they'd be like, "Oh, who are you? You're nobody." Is it money? Some people think it's money and like dressing proper. Other people think it's like a gentleman is being respectful to those around you, which I was raised to think that respect is actually really important. Respecting other people, and know that they would respect you. Is someone skating right now?
Oh my word.
Hey Nish, can you go ask whoever's skating to not? Because we're live.
It's kind of like funny that there's like a literal level from Tony Hawk recreated next door.
Down below.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm sorry.
down
The
below.
spaceship is sideways right now.
That's all right.
So what's your idea of happiness?
What is my idea of happiness? It's loud, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, recognizing or being grateful, I think, is really important to happiness, because if you're not grateful, it's very difficult to be happy.
It's true.
Right? You're on your close up, just letting you know.
Oh my.
Which actually
This is the room
I
for
forgot to change the name, so don't use the close ups anymore.
Okay. So
It's-
Zoom, it's room and Zoom rhyme.
That second level
Yeah.
of buttons,
But room is-
just use that middle one.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question again? Happiness. Yes, being grateful. Because if you're not grateful, you're unhappy.
True.
Right? Happiness, I think, is tied directly to being grateful. I'm grateful for waking up every day. I'm grateful for having cool people living in this house that I get along with, and having an amazing partner, and having an incredible office that I love so much. It's like, and having an amazing chat that shows up to me every day. It's like, I'm grateful for these things. Why would I? And it's a choice too, whether to be happy or not. It's like,
Yeah.
stuff happens, and I actually talk about this a lot on my show. It's being a victim. It exists. You have been victimized. I know some things that have happened to you personally, like of your life, and you're not a victim because you don't choose to be a victim. And there's so many people out there that choose to be victims, and they're unhappy because they're keeping themselves as victims. They're not grateful for what they have. They're angry that they're victims. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
It's not about
Yeah.
what you wear. It's all about what you like.
Yeah.
So what's your main fault, Adam? If you had to pick a fault.
A
your
fault?
Your main one. Should be his fault.
Sometimes I'm very blunt. It can be considered rude sometimes. I know I'm harsh sometimes, and I have empathy, but sometimes I forget to think about someone else's perspective before I speak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I can be a little come off as abrasive, and I'm learning how to not be so abrasive.
What's your idea of misery, Mr. Crickler?
Misery, huh? Not having food to eat. Having no family and friends. I think that's a sad reality that a lot of people live with, and that's true misery, is being alone, and not being okay with it. Because some people are okay with being alone.
True.
And that's not misery, but being alone when you don't want to be alone, that's rough.
Ironically, do you know what Proust's answer for that question was?
What?
To never know his grandmother.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought so.
I could see that.
So another good question. What if it was not yourself, who would you like to be instead if you couldn't be yourself?
Elon Musk.
Fair. Right?
I just want to go to space. I will. I'll go to space. I'm going to be in space one day.
I didn't mean to laugh
I'm gonna
because
float.
I think he actually will be the guy to end up on he's already, tell him a little bit about where you're at with that. How far are you gotten towards that goal?
Well, I reached the next stage in a contest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard it. They're announcing at the end of April. I think they're announcing the winners. I'm not sure, but it's in the stage where it's still a possibility that it could be chosen. I don't know. So
Pretty
we'll
trippy,
see.
right?
That would be
Like, to
really
be
cool.
of
And if
the
it's not
first
that, I'll make it some other way.
Yeah.
So, for sure.
Well, these are some of the basic questions. I didn't want to
Those are
ask
good
you
questions,
I
though.
know, right? 19th century questions. are
Really
lit.
quality questions. Seriously.
A couple simple ones. What's your favorite color and your favorite flower?
My favorite color is a burnt orange. It's kind of like rusty orange. It's like a really dark orange in the sky, like a sunset or sunrise. No, it's more of a sunset, and it's or like a certain shade of purple. But I really like orange, burnt orange. And my favorite flower, I don't really have one. Any flower that catches my eye, I'm a big fan of. I did a hashtag I like flowers for a long time on my Instagram.
That's a dandy thing to say.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I like flowers. They're beautiful. I mean, they are beautiful for a reason, and being grateful for seeing a flower is part of remaining happy in life.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll put down some of these questions for now because I just wanted to get some of those out there. But I think it's pretty interesting if you just get down to like how simple these questions are.
Yeah.
That they're basically, they tell us a lot about who we are as people. And I actually like your answers because I just learned a lot about you. I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like even now I know more, just
Cool.
because of your
Can I see 'em?
Sure. There you go.
It's pretty good. So can I ask you?
Oh my.
What is your favorite virtue?
Oh wow. Well, okay, so this is fair. Virtus.
Virtus?
Virtus.
What is that?
So
Virtus.
Virtus is an old virtue from. It means to be kind of valiant, and
What is valiant?
valiant is to be like chivalrous, to be selflessly dedicated to the greater good,
Okay.
and to be self-sacrificing to that end, right?
I like that. Okay.
And
So
so-
Virtus is basically like that
Yeah.
summed up in one word.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
actually taken to mean over time the words actually come to mean like multiple things because the Romans used it to describe like any great act of virtue in a lot of ways. Even just being virtuous comes from virtus. But exertus, right, is kind
Yeah,
of
Exertus.
but with the new pronouns.
Exertus cast. I don't know if anyone noticed the Exertus cast, but
Oh, is that what's going on there?
yeah,
My
Exertus
gosh,
cast.
That's so amazing. I
Or is it
wonder-
Zertus? Or it's Exertus?
It depends on how you are with your pronouns.
Okay.
Because if you like jur is like the new they, right? Or
Yeah, Z, Zer.
Yeah.
So do you identify as a Z or Zer?
I'm only kind of woke, like you don't want to be too woke.
I don't know. It feels like that's once you're part of the pronoun crew, you're pretty much woke.
Thank you. I tried my best to actually. I tried to study your people and to learn about them and to find out more about.
You
your
try to be
ways.
one with the others.
Yeah. I think I'm doing an all right job.
Let's see. Hold on. I want you asked me some good ones. I want to hear your what's your idea of misery?
Oh man. Well, hell is other people, right? I think hell is other
Interesting.
people.
It's like the opposite of my answer.
Yeah, totally.
It's interesting.
I think loneliness and solitude are actually underrated in some ways.
If you're okay with it.
If you're okay with it.
Right? Because not a lot of people are. And more people should be, actually.
Man, that's really the truth. Okay, so what is the most miserable thing? Not being okay with something that you can't control, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because honestly, if you have no power, to feel powerless in a situation is probably the worst possible thing that could ever happen to you.
Yeah, that's a skill, actually. People understanding how to not let things that they can't control affect them.
Right.
Or, because you can't control it.
Right.
So you learn how to, move past it or move in a different direction, because if it's something you can't control, what's the point of complaining about it, or, victimizing yourself over and over, or staying there under the boot of that thing you can't control, essentially, right?
I can't tell if he's literally making a metaphor about Google's promoter program right now or if it's just me.
No, what? I mean,
It is kind of an abusive relationship that we have, right? Like YouTube is an abusive partner.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that Library Odyssey is working on like a super chat system. Yeah, and that'll be huge.
It's going to be the greatest thing ever. Actually,
but people are going to Rumble, people are going to DLive, people are going to Odyssey. There's just all the BitChute. There's so many different ways, and everyone goes to YouTube.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean, it's a tragedy in some ways, but I think the thing is it can't last. I mean, you've seen what we're doing with the Fediverse, right? Like we're trying to build this decentralized.
Yeah, the Fediverse. Where are you gonna host it?
That's the idea. Is all of those things you can like RSS into them, so it'd be anything you want to host onto, and then you'd be able to grab it and embed it. It's just a headless, RSS feed. But there are great services now that can store data. Why are we stuck with one that's literally deleting your content and everything in between?
Texas is trying to pass a bill that makes it illegal to get banned off platforms.
That's pretty cool,
right? Yeah, Tim was telling me about it, and it's like, that's pretty amazing.
But so how would it work for the rest of the world? Like, if you get banned, it just only works in Texas? I mean,
only it's for Texas citizens. And so if I lived in Texas and I got that strike last week, which I did, I could immediately file an injunction to have YouTube give me back my channel to open it up. Wow. The strike would probably remain, but I wouldn't be they wouldn't be allowed to stop me from posting stuff.
See, that's what I think is going to end YouTube, because at some point they're going to realize that they don't want to be involved with that kind of a system, and they're going to think it's not fair for them.
Well, I mean, so Section 230, the whole battle with, these media companies' rights and protections, it can't be repealed, but it has to be swapped up and changed and altered so that it protects the person using the platform also.
Right.
Because right now it just is like, it just protects them from being sued, and basically they have all these workarounds because they play the political semantics. Well, I mean, it's not this per se, so we're not breaking the law.
Right.
Right. You violated our rules, so that's but by them getting rid of specific narratives that is on their channel, they are producers. They're producing content. They're showing that they're picking and choosing what's allowed. And I don't know. I think it's going to bite them in the butt sometime soon.
I'm curious, do you think that there's a responsibility if we live in a democracy where people are supposed to have access to information to make decisions? Whose responsibility is it to give people access to that information?
Ours. It's our responsibility. And the government is basically telling everyone, you're wrong. It's ours. It's our. We get to tell you. And I mean, I feel like we're steering into some spicy area, because I have a lot to say.
You are like cinnamon.
And there's things that I don't say on my channel because, I obviously have very strong opinions, and I've already been flagged a few times. I'm pretty sure I've been shadow banned for months on end because of
hanging out with me.
Go to the Y chat. I don't know if you guys. Oh, you guys can't see my beanie.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna get it. There's this beanie that is now considered a racist relic, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
Because it's just a "Make America Great Again" beanie. By the way, made in America. Just everyone likes to be like, well, look, I have this this MAGA beanie or this MAGA hat. It's made in China. I'm like, yeah, because people do knockoffs because a lot of people want to buy this kind of stuff. And this was made in America.
I wonder how many people are actually wearing that hat in China. You know what I mean? Like
Nobody in China.
Well, they don't necessarily know what it means, and they probably think it's awesome.
No, I'm pretty sure they know what it means.
Okay.
Donald Trump is one of the most famous people on the planet right now, you know.
So what do you think "Make America Great Again" means then?
That is a really good question. What does it mean to make America great again? Bring the power back to the citizens, make voting, make people have faith in their voting system. Because as much as they want to cram it down everyone's throat that the 2020 election was good, I don't want to I'm not going to say anything about it, but the fact remains, there's millions of Americans think that it's not.
They're not happy with it.
It's not legit. Yeah. They don't think that the voting system works. Right. So let's bring faith back in the voting system. Let's take the power away from these governors that are using anything they can to keep emergency powers. First it was COVID. Now they're trying to make racism a emergency that they have to, like a health emergency. It's like if they can maintain a health emergency, they can maintain their emergency powers. And the government wants more power. So make America great again, making the citizens the people that the government should fear.
That's a good one. Empower the citizen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of woke, right?
Yeah.
See, this is what we're getting here.
No, I mean, it's not woke because the woke crowd is all about Big Brother taking over. Yes, give us our food. We don't want to pay for anything. We don't want to work for a living. Just give us what we're due. We're owed stuff. Just print more money so we can go buy the food. It's like these people don't understand what makes society run. They just think that food is... There's literally people out there that think food just comes from the store. They could just go to the store and just buy food. And it's like, okay, well, who grows the food? Oh, farmers that spend their whole lives building up a farm to provide one kind of item. And there's thousands of farmers all over the place. And if suddenly they aren't getting paid for their due because everything's free, it's like, why would they even work towards that? If no one's working, society falls apart. But you have to have incentive to work, because if you don't have incentive to work, why work?
What about automation? What about scarcity and removing scarcity?
So, okay, but we're not there yet, are we? We're not. It's going to happen eventually.
Why aren't we there?
Because of money. That's it. Money. It's all about the money. Because the people that make money off oil, they want to keep the world on oil. Okay. I would love to move off fossil fuels, but I don't want to start mining the earth for a different element to create different, some different system, because it's the same thing. Okay, you're digging oil or you're digging this. You're digging this, you're still producing something else that's not as good. Like, why don't we focus our energy on making something like a perpetual engine that doesn't have any exhaust at all? So, or use the telluric current like Tesla did, because he studied the pyramids and found out the ancient Egyptians figured out how to do it. Let's harness the power of the earth. Why don't we do that?
Do you think, though, like, it's in the future, how far that is from now? Like, how far is that from now? Like, what's holding us back besides money? Like, can we just get that done?
That's literally what's holding us back. The Great Reset.
Yeah.
Okay?
I heard of it.
I know you have. You're like, bring it on, which scares me a little.
You should be scared. But, like, if we're part of it, if we're making it happen, right, then what are we going to... I mean, because the thing is, you just said yourself, like, you want there to be a future where there's no scarcity. You'd like to see automation and robots take over the worst jobs.
It's space. Space is the answer. If you think about it, we don't have to go in one direction from space. Space is in every single direction. I mean, obviously, there's planets that are closer, but if we understand how to manipulate gravity, we might be able to unlock some new form of space travel, where we can just fold space and just be at another spot. Warp drive, as in sci-fi stuff.
Holographic reality, yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's all sorts of different space travel, but like once we understand that, once we have some sort of, once we level up, I feel like we're not leveling up as a society. We're like, well, let's just change how we're doing, but let's stay here. And I'm like, I don't want to stay here. Everyone keeps talking about trying to progress, and it's like no one's progressing. They're just keeping the people who are in charge, these elites, the people that all work the money. It's all about the money. Well, they're just changing from electric or from fossil fuels to electric. It's the same people though.
Right.
They want everybody just sucking on the teat of, whoever's in charge. It's like, how is it going to change? Same with Make America Great Again. We got these freaking elites that basically run the world. That's the problem. They don't care about anybody. It's all a numbers game. CEOs of huge companies, they don't care about, like, if we were to work at those companies, they wouldn't care about us at all. We're just numbers to them. And that's how these people all the way at the top think about all of humanity. Right. We're just numbers to them.
Yeah, it seems like if they get rid of, media, we have less and less independent media. And so that means that it's less informed. Go ahead.
No, I think you're right.
I mean, if they take away the idea of the informed populace,
yep,
then there's less inclination to have democracy because that they're not going to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're better off just having, at that point, machines, for sure, because machines are going to be the things that have access to the information.
Okay.
If we don't, right? So it is also definitely, a short-term, we're viewing it like, wow, humans can't make decisions because we don't have information, but we might be able to.
Let me ask you something, though. Humans, their purpose in life, right, have been two things. Make sure that we've got food to eat and procreate to make sure our lines continue.
Wow.
Right? Breaking it down, very rudimentary, right? For thousands of years, that's the way life has been. If we don't eat, we die. If we don't procreate, our line ends. Okay, so those two things are like the base instincts, what we thrive to do, right? Okay, so if the food's taken care of, and I mean procreating, obviously we'll have to do still, but I mean less and less people are actually having kids nowadays, but I mean that's another subject. But when robots come in and get rid of scarcity, maybe we have 3D printing, literally printing anything we need. Hey, Alexa, print me something. Like obviously I'm just using a reference to Alexa because she's taking over. I'm sure Amazon's going to have an Alexa printer,
Yeah.
Print me a cup of Krigler coffee. Oh, delicious. The best coffee that I know of, And
automated drones, water.
All right, so when we get there, right? When you take humans' purpose away,
yeah,
that's another form of misery. You asked me, what's your idea of misery? I'll tell you another form of misery is having no purpose.
Yeah.
So when people don't have a purpose, people go nuts. People go online. People create weird realities. And I'm not calling anyone specifically out, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that just find purposes. And that's a problem. Because then you have zealots and people that want power to be like, come, I will give you a purpose, and then use it for evil or use it for evil. You know what I mean? Really, that's who I'm worried about. Because when people don't have purpose, they're the purposeless, and that's miserable. And what kind of a society is a purposeless society? We can automate everything, but if we have no purpose, society's going to crumble. We have to maintain a purpose. So what do? What is that purpose? If we don't go to space, obviously, because that's why I'm saying space. Because if we're exploring the universe,
yeah.
If we're doing that, then it's like, okay, but not everyone wants to go to space.
Right. A lot of people don't believe in it. A lot of people think we're on a turtle. So
a lot of people think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. But
okay.
Yeah,
is that part of it? They think it's a turtle.
It's a better metaphor on
Wait,
YouTube.
do you believe in space?
I believe that the Earth is part of space. It is a space. So yes.
Okay. Do you think the Earth is round?
Well, I think the question you're really getting to is if it's a sphere.
No, not a sphere, because a sphere, like my globe right behind you, that's a perfect circle or a perfect globe.
Perfect circle.
Good band.
I do like them.
They planets that spin tend to, be a little wider. They
pear-shaped.
There's planets that spin so fast that in our 24 hours, 17 minutes, they'll go all the way around. And some of them are 100 times the size of Earth. Huge planets. They're mostly gas, but they spin really fast, and they're almost disk because they're so wide, but they're spinning so fast. We're not spinning that fast, but we are spinning, so it does happen to bulge out a little bit at the equator, and people are like, ha, proof. It's
Yeah,
just
I
don't
like
understand that.
the Egyptian arguments, you
Which
know.
is?
Well, just like that there's a celestial basically you have an axis mundi, you know. So this whole thing here, can you see that from there? Yeah. Can't even do it.
You gotta
give
have
up.
love.
I give up.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay, take it. Make it right. Make it right.
You gotta have the touch.
So imagine that this is literally the Earth. That looks kind of like what a lot of people believe the Earth is that there's an axis mundi that the Earth is standing on, and then it's actually disc shaped, and that it's not spinning so much as the world's being spun.
Yeah, and they also then think that the entire perimeter is
Yeah.
a big ice wall.
Right?
That
So okay,
you don't think we've ever gone to the other side of the ice wall? If that was the case,
Operation High Jump is cool, but what do you? So that's
I don't know.
more-
Is that what it's called? Is that
Operation High Jump is when
when you go to the edge and you're on the edge of the world?
Admiral Byrd and they send a bunch of people down to check out Antarctica. What do you think about Antarctica and South America and the whole thing with the South Pole?
South America. What's the difference?
I mean, at one point,
well, I
South
mean, I know the
America,
difference, but like, what do you mean?
It touched
like,
at one point and connected, and the idea
okay.
that we walked.
Well, it doesn't anymore though.
Yeah, but do you think at one point that we were walking there and there were people there, or that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we know right now the North Pole is shifting. It's changing trajectories. So it was here like 10 years ago. Now it's moved like 15 miles or something. Like it's moving. So that means the pole of the Earth, which is basically a big battery, is actually moving. So who's to say it didn't shift in the back in the past, or change sideways, or like I don't know. We don't. I'm only me. I've got to the internet to help me understand stuff, but
Adam's a
it's a
pretty
crazy
cool
one.
guy. He's asked a lot of people about this actually, and I think the people that he's interacted with think about. Was it Kevin? And like all of these generals and people involved with Air Force and with NASA. So he's got a lot of perspective from that angle, and it's probably worth considering his perspective. At the same time, though, I do think that the holographic answer makes more sense because both narratives seem flawed.
What's the holographic answer?
Well, you've got people that believe that there's nothing beyond what's in this world, right?
Okay.
And then there's people that believe space is so far away that we're not interacting with people in space, and we're not interacting with aliens in space because they're so far away. But holographic,
Well, they are really
that-
far away.
But
If they exist, they're really far from us.
But as you just said, everything could be stacked on top of itself through this holographic.
I mean, look at that picture.
Oh,
That's
my.
just the Milky Way. All of those stars that you see are just in the Milky Way, just the ones that are directly in our galaxy that we're in,
Wow.
right?
So-
And there's probably civilizations that we don't know about in the Milky Way. And that's one galaxy. And I'm pointing to my widescreen monitor to his left.
Yeah,
that
I don't know
has-
if you guys can see it, but
No, they can't, but
it's really wide.
it's a nice, it's
wide
nice,
as
isn't
the
it?
universe, actually. It's
I wish. It'd be amazing.
biggest.
Can you imagine a monitor that big?
doing it now.
Or just like a full like globe monitor. You sit in the middle. It's like a Dyson Sphere monitor.
That's
where
what
it's
they,
you in the middle in the seat.
That's how they shoot the Mandalorian. You
It'd
saw,
be kind
right?
of cool.
The whole Mandalorian, they don't use green screens. They just use they use a film monitor that
Oh.
goes over your head.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't
It's
know
like
that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that's pretty reasonable. I kind of wanted to ask you a couple more.
Yeah, sure.
There's a couple here that I was.
What are they?
saving.
Proust?
Proust question.
Proust.
Yeah.
Okay. What is who's Proust? What was the first person to do this?
Proust was Marcel Proust. He was a French writer. He wrote poems. He wrote short stories. He
Okay.
delved into.
Was clearly a thinker.
Yeah, absolutely. At the time, I mean, there was two ways of doing this.
Okay.
One was to ask yourself, and that's called the confession style. And then the other, or I'm sorry, confidence style, where you're in confidence, taking your own confidence. The
Okay.
other is where you're confessing to someone. And
okay.
so there's a way to ask the question, and it's interesting how if you rephrase the question to be a personal question. So let's see here. What is your favorite thing to do and your favorite occupation?
What is my favorite thing to do?
Yeah.
Probably play games with people I love and people that I like being around. Yeah. Video games, board games, card games. It's like healthy competition. We're also, some games are co-op, but I think in life, my favorite things to do is be with people that I love to be with and, play games with them.
It's Proust said he liked his favorite occupation was loving. So I find that similar.
Like sex or
I mean,
because
he didn't say
making
sex.
love or loving someone.
He didn't say sex. But he might have.
What did he mean? What years was this?
1890s.
1890s.
Doesn't mean he didn't mean it. He could easily meant it then.
Could have been. Could have been.
But he talks about his favorite character in Men being the feminine charm. So
yeah,
I think he knows what he's talking about.
Sure.
What about your favorite quality in your friends?
My favorite, I got to go with honesty.
Yeah,
and maybe humor.
Yeah.
All of my really close friends make me laugh, and they're straight up to me, and I appreciate that so much, because if they have a problem with me, I know what it is.
Right.
It's not like I'm like, what's going on? Because that's how I am. If you have a problem with you, you're gonna know why I have a problem with you, because I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Straight to your face. I'm not gonna hold it in. That's just not my style. And all of my friends will straight up tell me, they'll call me out, and I love that. And they make me laugh.
Very good.
It's a good combo.
Do you want to tell us about your favorite band?
My favorite band. I don't know if I have a favorite band, because I love music. Music is so important in life. So I mean, I've you go through phases in life, right? My first CD was actually a Garth Brooks album.
Really?
Random, I know, but
Whoa.
my family liked country, and I don't really like country, but Garth Brooks, I had that. And then my second album was Sublime,
Nice,
self-titled, and I was like, and I never looked back. I don't think I played that Garth Brooks album ever again after I got that Sublime album. But I found out about Incubus, Pearl Jam. Those were, Incubus, Sublime, and Pearl Jam were really always heavily played growing up for me. And then Offspring also.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my favorite, I mean, Led Zeppelin also is really huge for me. I love the raw emotion. Jack Black also.
Yeah, tributes are perfect.
Yeah, well, tribute, sure, everyone knows it, but like
Wonderboy?
It doesn't matter what song he's playing. It's the emotion and the musician he is. I like that. Like Bradley Nowell of Sublime, some of his songs were terrible, and he would just, but the way he played them was so raw, and that I love that. I love the rawness of his, and I think about Led Zeppelin, and I just listened to music back then, and it's raw. There's such raw emotion and rawness to it. Do you know what I mean about a raw music? And it just, everything is so clean nowadays. It's so boring to me. You don't feel the emotion. Listening to Ian play, he almost overdoes it. But you could feel the emotion. It's like, okay, calm down. We know you're emotional with the song, but it's very raw though, and I'm like, I like that about it. It's lacking. So
I can't believe you didn't bring up Tool.
I wasn't done, dude. Well, actually, I like Perfect Circle. Who am I kidding? I love Tool so much. I went and saw them last year. Muse is really good. Good music. Good music nowadays is hard to find, but there's some bands that are just amazing, So Jose Gonzalez. Tom McDonald actually is really awesome. I've been really getting into him a lot. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a while now, and I have all his albums, and it's... do you know Tom McDonald?
No.
I want to say a hip-hop / rapper, but he's kind of like a rocker. He kind of created his own genre in a sense. He's got some poppy sounding songs. He's not in any form, which is great. I love that, because he just kind of just creates how he feels, and I like that. I like that emotionalness that he brings to the board. So, and Nisha. Nisha makes incredible music. If you guys don't know about Nisha, you can check her out. Is Angleby in chat? I would be surprised if he wasn't. Angleby is a awesome supporter of mine. He's always in chat. He constantly drops her music. It's on Spotify as Mal, M-A-L. If you're in chat, Angleby. If not, shout out to Angleby.
Please do. Pleione and Mal, I think, are the names.
Well, Captain Pleione is her new persona, but it was Mal, under Mal. So
Cool.
But yeah, you can
Crazy
check
good
it
music.
out. It's Kaleidoscopic is the name of the album, and she's just her new music that she's writing is incredible. And
Yeah.
it's
Some of the best.
I'm very excited to like see what she does because she's like sharpening her tool. It's like she's sharpening her musical talent so much without actually finishing the albums. She's just like, I must sharpen my talent, and I'm like, it's so good. You're
Right.
cutting me. You're cutting my ears. It's so good, But when she drops it, you guys are gonna be like, damn. Anyway, she's part of the reason. It's part of the reason why I fell for her because she's such an incredible musician. I love music. It's a huge
How did
part
you
of my
guys
life.
meet again? When was that?
I sold her an arbor board.
Oh man.
Yeah, she walked into the shop I was working at, and she bought. I sold her a board, and then she was leaving, and I quit my job and followed her to Sweden, and we just started traveling the world together.
That's intense.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just last night
She's
I saw
amazing.
an arbor board because we went to Christina's birthday.
Oh, and she has an arbor board. I heard about that. Yeah,
and
that's
I was like,
cool.
that is matrix synchronicity.
I should give her some arbor stickers
That's awesome.
for her birthday.
I remember.
In fact, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so now tell me about Tartaria. What do
I
you
don't know
about
anything about Tartaria.
that? Darn. Do you want to just make something up?
No. I was gonna poke fun of you a little bit for your first time on my show, but honestly, you've come so far.
Oh my gosh.
From that moment.
Please don't remind me like the difference, like before and after pictures are not necessary.
No, man, my chat really liked you. They were like rooting for you. They're like, he's so nervous, or is he stoned? He's just nervous. Maybe both.
Could happen.
And I'm not sure. To this day, I'm not even sure what happened that day. But you came back and you proved yourself that you were a little more confident. It wasn't about Tartaria. It was just kind of like shooting the breeze. So, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the biggest test I've ever had is using all this studio equipment here because the
Yeah.
way you've got this set up is,
Well, you're already more comfortable with the buttons.
I love pushing them.
Once you get used to the buttons, it's like second nature.
Yeah.
It's really like, it's really a mindless job that anyone can do pressing buttons.
I don't know if that's quite a compliment. How about what's something?
I'm not talking.
interest-
It's
Even a monkey like Chris could do it. So what about Space Monkeys Unite?
Space Monkeys. Shout out to my Discord. My Discord's open, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I opened it back up the
Dude,
other day.
Everybody jump into the Discord. Anybody who's on my wave, like get into Adam's Discord.
King, are you in chat right now? I saw you earlier. Yeah, King, I see you saying, "Yo, drop a Discord link in the chat for me."
Yeah, this is worth your time.
Come join the Adams family. We have rules though. It's not like a full because Discord is free.
Yeah.
You got to understand that my server can get nuked. Servers have been nuked.
My server
we have
was nuked.
For example, his server got nuked. So many servers were being nuked over the past 6 months because you use someone's free program, you have to adhere to the rules. So we have rules, but I opened it up again because I have an awesome mod team. Shout out to my mod team. King is in chat right now. He's one of my mod teams.
Love you guys.
So he's laughing. I see him laughing over there.
They're good people.
Thank you, King. I appreciate that. Oh, I do see Angleby right there. Right on. Yep,
Nice.
Angleby. He's great.
All right. One last thing before we do some super
Sure,
chats.
yeah.
Okay, so
What's up?
tell me something weird about where you grew up. Something cool you saw as a kid or something.
Something weird about where I grew up. When did I grow up though?
I was thinking maybe like 10 years old, but whatever.
10 years old?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about the first time I almost died.
Oh, perfect.
Because
This
there's
is
multiple
exactly
there's
what I
multiple
wanted.
times in my life, but the first time I almost died, I was 12,
Wow.
and I was on a cruise for my grandparents' anniversary. They brought the whole family, and we were in the Bahamas, and it was I was most excited about this part of the Bahamas, or this part of the leg. It was one of those like Caribbean cruises. And we stopped on one. I think it was. I'm not sure exactly where it was. I was 12, but we were going snorkeling. I was so hyped. This is like the only thing I wanted to do. And we got all the way to the beach, and you had to go down this stairs of coral that they kind of like made it, safe. And I kind of walked. I was like, oh, there's a little like bench here. I'm gonna go onto this bench. And as I like walked to the bench, I slipped, and I cut my ankle on coral. And it was like a
rough.
freaking deep cut on my. I mean, I still have the scar on my foot. And
That's rough, man.
so it needed like internal stitches, external stitches. I didn't go snorkeling.
Obviously.
I was really bummed, and I was down for the count for the rest of the trip, you know? So 2 months later, I got this really bad bone infection in my right hip that I must have caught from bacteria on the coral, went into my bloodstream and settled in my hip, and I couldn't move. They couldn't figure out what it was, and I was bedridden for about a month, and they were giving me a morphine to I was a 12-year-old on morphine, on like a morphine drip, like a machine that would just give me morphine because it was so painful. I couldn't even, like, I couldn't think. It was that painful.
That's so nuts.
So someone messed up the machine and it malfunctioned. So I was getting like, I don't know, 5 cc's an hour. Or, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it gave me like 10 times the amount. So my mom was in the room. It was late night, and I stopped breathing. My mom was like sitting, and she heard me stop breathing, and she was like shaking me and woke me up. And I remember waking up. I remember this very distinctly. I woke up and like saw her. I went back to sleep, and then I woke up and I was surrounded by doctors. Like 10 doctors were around my table, like trying, like it was all. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up and I was like going through the hospital hallway, like. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up and I was in an ambulance. The OD that I was going through as a small 12-year-old boy was so strong, they couldn't even treat me at that hospital.
No.
They had to bring me to another hospital to some like, I don't know exactly what it was. I needed some specific, some doctor. So they had to rush me to a different hospital so my mom saved my life.
Yeah.
If she wasn't in that room, I would have just died. I would have stopped breathing and had a morphine overdose. And that was that. And we sued them. There was they couldn't prove long-term damage or anything. So that
is there anything more traumatic possible?
They paid my bills, but it's like I would have died. Like you guys almost killed me. Whatever. I mean, it's the past. I didn't die, but
this one's on us.
So that's a crazy story from my childhood.
That was. I feel like I know you so much better today.
Word.
Than I ever
Yeah.
did before.
I'm grateful to be alive. People, it's crazy how fast you could not be here anymore.
Do you think
people don't think about that enough?
Do you think that you are more? Do you think that with your heart stopping and starting again, that you're changed somehow, like out of body or life changing event? That
I don't know if it's about my heart stopping, but I know that that's a truth that I almost died.
Yeah.
And I will remember that forever. So.
Do you feel anything like, have you seen John Constantine? Do you feel like that? Like your spirit's changed?
No, I don't think I ever went to like the nether realms because she just heard me stop breathing like immediately. Wow. So it's not like there's no proof that my heart stopped. It's not like I died or anything.
But the beeping, or
I wasn't hooked onto that kind of machine because I wasn't like in intensive care.
I was just was gonna happen.
I was just in a regular room on morphine. So no one would have known if my mom wasn't in the room. So, thanks, Mom. You saved my life.
Thank you, Mrs. Krigler, for saving.
It's Skoglund.
Oh, Mrs. Skoglund. Sorry, I'm learning everything today.
Miss.
Yeah. She's got.
Get it right.
Reyes. So much pressure.
Shout out to my mom. She's great. I'm very grateful for her, and forever and always.
Apparently, I think all of us are, because Adam's one of my favorite people. And
thank you, bud.
It's so great to have done this.
Thank you.
I think we better go through some of these super chats.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Do I just?
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow's my second appointment. This is Robert Wells. Tomorrow's my second appointment for my fake leg. My new one's going to give him that extra bag of coffee. Oh my! I did it again. Tomorrow.
No. I got you, dog.
I love
this. Is my studio, so I'm used to it. You're not. I gotta, help you adjust.
It clearly says Exertus.
Oh, excuse me. Right now, it's your studio.
Thank you.
It's clearly Exertus Cast.
I want some professionality here.
Beyond success. That's what it says.
It's true.
I'm just reading your sign.
That's what Exertus means. So Robert Wiles says, and now let's get serious, folks.
Yeah. Robert Wiles is great.
He's going through some serious stuff. Tomorrow's my second appointment for my fake leg. My new one is gonna give him that extra bag of coffee that came with my cis order. I hope you like my gift.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he got an extra bag. Just happened to be lucky and get an extra bag. We actually decided, Robert, because of that, how cool that was. We're gonna do that we're gonna do awesome. A random extra bag of coffee just for fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Robert, I wish you well, and I hope that they give you like Mortal Kombat super leg. You know.
Yeah.
My niece order just got sent out today, so hopefully she gets here before she does. She'll be here Friday. I ordered here a 2-pound bag and a mug. Be blessed, Adam.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much, buddy.
Robert, bless you back.
Yeah.
Casparius says, "Hey, Adam, I see you made it to the Exertus stream. I hope you don't choke. Break a leg, and remember, don't stare at the screen. Keep your eyes focused on Exertus." That's some solid, terrifying advice right there.
Hello. Hello.
Is that really what it was like? Is that bad? Is that terrified?
It's on Odyssey.
I'm so scared. To
Everything on Odyssey is you can watch, even the thing that YouTube deleted. You can go watch on Odyssey.
Oh, you mean that the episode that you're not supposed to see, you can still see that episode
on Odyssey?
Oh, so you mean everyone's gonna go to Odyssey and look for Adamcast and
you
find
can
out?
You can go watch my last episode. But a lot of the people here, I'm recognizing a lot of names in chat. A lot of those people show up for me on my show, so they probably watched it already. I see you guys.
You guys are diehards.
Which one? This one? I see you guys. You guys are the best.
You guys are diehards.
Chat's the best.
Chris, Andreas, glad you and Adam are doing this. Buy some GME.
That's the voice.
That's the one?
That's your voice. That's the voice that you all of your videos, the robotic Andreas voice.
I sound like Andreas. That's kind of
You just did it though. The way you just read that is the way that the robot that you programmed to sound like you speaks.
Adam, you sound like a crazy person.
You're a robot. I just confirmed it. I knew there was something about you.
Oh my word. Don't push the reset button, you know what I mean?
I won't.
White lasagna. Things are different. I'm scared.
Okay, this is, I gotta say, look over there. There's a die, not the gold ones, the one in the middle. That one.
Correct.
Okay.
This is
Give
time.
me that.
Time.
This is White Lasagna's die. This was given to me from White Lasagna. Now this is anytime I see White Lasagna super chats.
Nice.
Because White Lasagna sent me these, I roll the die.
That's fair.
Okay, and I have to roll again because it landed in a spot that is not a
and
number.
Make America Great.
Okay, so I rolled the die. Now you have to watch chat because chat, you have to guess 1 through 20. First person to guess wins absolutely nothing. But
you guys know the drill.
They know the drill. You guys got to start guessing, and we'll see.
And we'll say it at the end.
So yeah.
I'll read a few more.
Just to let you know, this is the number. Don't say it out loud.
The Truth Fairy.
Hey, this is what you're looking for.
Oh, right, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed.
There it is. Hold on, we got it.
Oh, we already got it. Oh,
Adam Johnson. Congratulations.
Adam Johnson.
Congratulations, Adam.
Yeah.
I like your name.
Not bad at all.
Got a solid first name.
That's true. Adam's a great
Last name is, it's okay. But
yeah, Johnson.
The first name,
Johnson.
solid.
Truth Fairy sent us. Do you want to grab Brittany's little?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because she just sent a super chat as well.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So just wanted to say this thing exists, and he keeps it here, like with him.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's. I like this.
So when he gets to space, he can sign documents, which is the most important thing you can do in space, as far as I can tell. Right? It's a contract.
It's a little bulky though for a space flight.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna be allowed to bring.
How much weight?
But I'm gonna really, really beg for me to bring my little mini guitar. I have a little guitar that's like this big, and I'm like, I just want to play guitar in space. Like that's what I want.
I need to invent a graphene inflatable guitar.
Interesting.
That seems like
interesting.
Important.
All right. Cool.
So Truth Fairy just sent us thanks emoticon. Jure is a legend.
Wait, did you miss one?
Did I miss one?
Yeah, you did. Go back up.
Thank you. Mavis says, did you see the quartering video? YouTube gave themselves a free speech award. Thanks for staying on that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, we should watch. So make sure we check out Jeremy's video on the quartering, and you can check that out on Odyssey as well. So
I wonder what it's about.
We will watch that. I mean, obviously, like they're gonna think they gave themselves a free speech award. I'd love to see how that played out.
Yeah, I don't know what it means,
but I like to give myself awards. I have given myself the Exertus Award, the Brave and Courageous Award. I mean, just for being here, I think I should get that again. And the Poor Leo.
You know what? I'm proud of you,
dude.
You're doing good.
I love you, man.
You're doing good.
The Poor Leo Award is like, I think we should start making that.
Poor Lion.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio. Like
Leo.
He didn't get an Oscar
because he hasn't won.
Well, he finally did when they got a bear to tear him apart in Canada.
Oh, that's true.
Feed him for a while.
That was a really good movie, though.
Great, but poor Leo, right? Like, because he deserved that for something way more cush on a boat in Mexico or Hawaii when he did Titanic when he was like a teenager.
No? I don't really like that movie.
You don't even love that movie? That's fair. I mean, honestly, I think
the only good thing. I'm sorry, hold on. The only good thing that came out of that movie is the Fernk flute. Now, if you don't know about the Fernk Flute, you got to tune into my Twitch channel or Fernk's Twitch channel for the Fernk Flute.
This sounds important. Fernk, I
Right.
want
Shout
to
out
give
to
you
the
a
Fernk.
shout out to Fernk also. I met you. You're a beautiful man.
Isn't he great?
Wonderful person.
Dude, Fernk is awesome.
Based
It's one of my homies.
and not too woke, but just woke enough. You know?
Yep.
DJ Zeno, like not Xenu, but Zeno. Okay. Zur is a legend. Until Adam is on his level, he will always be the most awake member in the pool house. Fair enough.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
You can tell who's woke by how long they've been woke, and you can tell how long they've been woke by how tired we are of it. Adam Johnson, have either of you watched any Suspicious Observers catastrophism videos or
No.
the Hidden Mathematics 2-hour video put up by After School? No, I haven't, but that
no.
sounds up my alley.
Totally
So
does,
I'm
doesn't
gonna
it?
be checking those out.
Right on.
It sounds like, yeah, I love catastrophism.
Cool.
Actually, that's a big thing of Tartaria, right? We're all about the catastrophism and the deluge and, the idea of like historical resets, right? So they've happened before and they're happening again. We should either hijack it,
Yeah.
hack it or jack it, take it over or stop it, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Wiles again. I had a blood clot that in 2008 it almost killed me, but it put me into the hospital that night. I would have, but if they put me in the hospital that night, I would have died. It almost broke loss. Be blessed, Adam.
Well, thank you, Robert. Well, I'm glad you didn't die. That's for
Right.
certain.
2008 was
It's a long time ago.
a stressful year. I think Obama was elected that year.
Yeah.
Terrifying times. Philip Fisher just found the stream. I have to go back and listen from the beginning. Philip, you
Yes.
simply must.
You
I think,
simply must.
I think we had a fantastic.
We've had a quality conversation.
Indeed, it's profound and
Indubitably.
indubitably.
I just
so.
love that word.
Indubitably.
It didn't actually work in this moment.
No,
but-
it's without
did it?
doubt. Yeah, beyond doubt.
Oh, then
Yeah.
indubitably.
It's dubious that indubitably didn't work.
Have you seen 7 Days in Hell?
No.
It's hilarious. It's a movie between Andy Samberg and what's the guy who played Jon Snow? What's his name?
I forget.
You know who I'm talking about? That character?
I forget Jon Snow.
You don't know Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah. I mean, don't call me not your ally.
Hey, chat. What is who plays Jon Snow? Kit Harington.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington. All right, so it's Andy Samberg versus Kit Harington in a 7-day long tennis match. Because if you end in a tie, the game doesn't end.
Yeah.
So they could theoretically just keep going for days on end, and it happens, and it's called 7 Days in Hell, and it is hilarious.
That sounds perfect.
And Kit Harington's character is like an idiot and just says indubitably all the time, over and over again. Like that's his answer to most things. Anytime I hear that word, that's all I think about
I
now.
like it. I like dubious. It's an underrated.
Yeah,
word.
dubious is a good word.
DJ Zeno again. Here's another 5 for bringing up Tartaria. Thanks, DJ. I like that.
Well, you certainly would.
Love fountains, domes, empty doorways, etc., but no bathrooms. You've heard this thing with the bathroom thing?
What? No bathrooms?
Yeah. So you go to like the Versailles Castle, Chateau de Versailles,
Okay.
and all of these castles in France and around, they don't have bathrooms.
None.
Yeah, and it's basically like maybe because they're throwing feces in buckets out to garden, but they have everything else. They have plumbing there. They have tens of thousands of fountains, right, to impress everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no bathrooms in the castle.
What if they had like some sort of like wheeled mobile
A piss boy?
shitter?
They had piss boys.
What's that?
So a piss boy, you yell at him and he comes with a bucket
Yeah.
to you, and he
Right.
brings it out to the garden.
But what if you have to poop? You got like
You-
a squat
it's
over
a
the bucket?
Yeah,
That's so. I mean,
it's barbaric, right?
well,
least
no,
what we think of it.
because technically the human body is supposed to squat to
Yeah.
poop.
The squatty potty is definitely the way to
Right,
go.
squatty potty. So I've never actually used one.
Oh,
But
they're the best.
are they?
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't want to use it.
Do you use squatty potty?
Yeah, for sure.
You look like you use squatty potty.
You look like you would use a bidet in a squatty potty.
Whoa,
All right.
bidet's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Have
well,
you used a bidet?
Oh, for sure. I would.
They're fancy.
I think
I've
not
tried.
using a
They're
bidet
nice.
is foolish, honestly.
Not using one?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that's the weirdest idea. It's like, can you imagine like wiping a floor with paper instead of a mop? I don't know. It's like using. I don't know. You wash your hands, but
Right.
not.
Not your butthole?
What is going on with this culture? It doesn't make sense. All right.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, guys, this is incredible. Adam, I don't know how you did it, but you made it through this without falling over. So
I have a little bit of experience now in front of a camera.
yeah,
Um,
and you made me
Just a
who I
little
am
bit.
today. So I appreciate that a lot.
well,
man.
that means a lot. Thank you, buddy.
yeah. Well,
I think you've come a long way, and I am truly mean this. I'm very excited to see your future.
The future, guys, it's bright. Recent Sartarians. Thank you.
Wait. No,
Oh,
no.
no?
Don't
Don't do
enter.
that?
No, because there's a 30-second window.
Oh.
So you would have cut yourself off 30 seconds.
Oh, man.
So
So, we're
j-
living in the future.
Right. So you hit the right button.
This far one?
Yep.
Right.
Well, technically it says Adamcast, but
Because it's a special. It's the
Yeah.
Exertus Adamcast special. This is perfect.
so we should just like stop talking so that it's the end.
Should we like hum or anything? Like
No,
hum?
because right now, see, we're seeing a preview.
Yeah.
See, that's like in the past.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So we're looking at the past right now,
This is like
and we're technically in the future.
this is like space travel.
Right.
This is what it's
So
like.
eventually, you're gonna have to just end that stream, and that's gonna cut us off somewhere,
Guys,
unless we just stop talking for 30 seconds.
I think this is gonna be it.
Whenever you want.
Ciao.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Thank you, man.